and gentlemen, welcome to CityStreetsMe.com. We're here doing it live, doing it big on the south side of Wichita, Kansas on a beautiful Thursday evening. We are here with Mr. R&B, Mr. Sensation, Mr. Brian Alexander.
Brian Alexander, ladies.
And hello to the people. Ladies, I told you I was going to bring you something special tonight, so we definitely doing that tonight. So without ado, Mr. Alexander, tell the people about you.
Well, I've been singing, I've been writing songs mainly since 2004, and I've been doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff. A lot of local artists, they know who I am, but a lot of fans don't know who I am because I haven't really been in the spotlight too much, but it's time to get out here and show people what I'm made of as an artist.
Right on, right on, right on. So when I initially made contact, you know what I'm saying, I was like, man, it's an R&B singer in Wichita. So I was expecting to hear, like, you know, a rapper behind you doing some rap hooks, but then I heard some R&B music. I said, whoa! I said, you know, so talk to me about the music. What's behind the music? How'd you get started and what's behind it?
Well, I'll just blame it all on my older cousin. When I was like 13, she was bumping all that H-Town, Jodeci, Silk, all the R&B music, all the baby making music. Every day we playing video games and listening to that throughout the house. So it's her fault. So Marsha, it's your fault that all I do is R&B music. But that's what I'm influenced by. All the artists from like the 90s. You know, I mean, to me, that's when R&B was really like, that's when it was really hot. Now it's so combined with hip hop.
Right.
You know, but I mean, I can't let that influence die too. You know, I got a lot of music that is combined with hip hop, but I knew like my first single off this album, it had to be just strictly R&B, no hip hop, just me giving it to the ladies 100%.
Right on. Right on. So talk to me about with Wichita being predominantly a rock country / hip hop type of town. How difficult is it for you breaking through to get to the mainstream to represent yourself as an R&B artist in Wichita?
Well, from what I've seen, you know, people like to see what they see on TV. You know, as far as like singing goes, they want you to do that American Idol type stuff. They also want a lot of the pop music, right, which, you know, I love pop music, don't get me wrong. But every now and then I gotta get real grimy with the R&B, and when I do that, you know, this is the Midwest. This is like Bible Belt. It's like a lot of ladies with kids out here and stuff. You know, they want me to sing some more PG stuff. So I started getting a lot more into that type of writing. But from what I've seen, it's kind of hard to get shows here with urban music, period. And if you do, you got a local following, but to me, I've always considered this like a practice ground.
Right.
There is no market for urban music here. I mean, you can do shows all you want here. This is a small town, so you do a couple shows, everybody done seen you, unless you like really change up your performance. You know, it's gonna be like, oh, I've seen that before. You know, the music might be a little different, but I know what that dude's gonna do 9 times out of 10.
Right.
So to me, you know, you do a lot of practicing here, and then you got to take it out here. I mean, everybody that I followed in the music biz, like in the late 90s, you had Missy Elliott, Timberland, Genuine, all of them, they coming from Virginia. Pharrell, they coming from Virginia. You got lately like Chris Brown, he came from Virginia. You know, small towns, they had to go somewhere else. They had to go to a bigger market, a place that, you know, can cater to the music that they make. In this town here, I mean, I don't know, it'd be a long time before you see an urban act in Intrust Arena, you know? It'd be a long time. I mean, I went to, last concert I went to really was Snoop concert back in February, and that was at the Cotillion. I'm like, Snoop is a legend, you know?
Right.
If 2,000 is all he's getting here, 2,000 people, that's just telling me, hey, gotta go somewhere else, man. So I'm gonna keep practicing here. I'm gonna do a couple shows here, and then I gotta punch that ticket, man. I gotta leave.
I ain't mad at you. I'm leaving with you, okay? We gonna be on the same plane, you know. I'm just playing Wichita. I love you. We still getting on the plane though. So talk to me about the album. What's on the album? This is your first album you're ready to release?
This is actually the second album I've released. This is the fourth album I've made.
Right on.
And I'm very picky about how the music sounds. And up until lately, I didn't have so much control over it. I'd sit next to a music engineer day in and day out, hours. I'm falling asleep in a chair just trying to get them to get my music to sound the way I wanted it to sound.
Right.
But, you know, either they wouldn't, I mean, it's R&B music, you know, it's right. A lot of hip hop saturated in this city. So you got people trying to make it sound like hip hop. You got people not really understanding how to bring out vocals through engineering. So I just finally had to, I sat next to a few people and I learned how to do it myself. So on this album, I got a lot of hip hop influenced R&B, but then I got tracks that are like mainstream pop too, because I mean, my two biggest influences are R. Kelly and Michael Jackson. To me, those are the two dudes. I mean, I can't speak for the ones that came before them, because, you know, I ain't that old.
Right on.
But to me, those two, they define, like, pop and R&B. So that's pretty much how I'm coming on this. Everybody that's out, that's hot now R&B, they came from either one of those cats or both of them.
Right on.
So I got 11 tracks on the album. And I'm also throwing 5 additional like bonus tracks on there from a couple projects I did before that never materialized in anything.
Right.
Because you know, we love making music, but when it gets to the business side, it's like I said, this scene here in Wichita, it's a lot of people that, you know, we learn by what we see and what we hear. We don't exactly have the resources here. We don't have credible, you know, like industry executives to tell you, you know, which path to follow. So after we make the music, a lot of stuff goes sour. I mean, I know cats who done made album after album. They got songs for years and never put nothing out because it's, you know, it's hard. It's hard to find out how to do it.
Right on. Right on. I like that. That was candid. I can't. Before we go any further with this, you know what I'm saying? When I do these interviews, you know what I'm saying, sometimes, you know, I get with the rappers, you know what I'm saying, so I get my meme mug on, you know what I'm saying, but now I get with the R&B singers, so I gotta, hold on a minute, you know what I'm saying, I gotta get kind of,
you gotta get
get a little sophisticated over here with the R&B singers, you know what I'm saying.
We don't get the swag on, we get the suave on.
Alright, you know what I'm saying. so let me ask you this, Brian Alexander, what separates Brian Alexander from, not even Wichita, but when I put on your CD, what's going to make Brian Alexander different from everything else I'm hearing out there today?
Well, I'll put it like this. There's stuff that I talk about that is not really what a typical R&B dude would talk about. I got those songs, and then I got some other songs that I'm sure R&B dudes make, but they won't release. They won't put out on their album because, like, I got a song called The Twilight Zone about men and women, like, role reversal. I mean, you ain't gonna really hear too much stuff like that. I mean, I got crazy stuff. I got stuff like I've been writing for years that people will look at me and they jaw drop because it's just like, I can't believe he said that. You know, I thought this was a goody two shoes type of guy.
Right.
And then they think it like speaks to me personally, and it's just art.
Right.
So I would say what makes me different is I know there are cats that write their own music. I write all of my own music. I almost take like the hip hop approach. Like almost all the songs I've written, I've never written down. I write them down just so I can get them done. I don't change none of the lyrics and stuff. But I mean, I work so much that 24/7 I'm writing songs in my head. And, you know, you get in trouble at work if you write stuff like that down.
Right on.
But I produce my music. I'm just a goofy fun guy when it comes to creating music. So That's what pretty much separates. I'm not gonna be the cookie cutter artist that makes R&B. If you think you know what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do something different, and I'm gonna wow you. I'm gonna surprise you, or I'm gonna make you say that boy need to go to church.
Give me some of that baby making music. You know what I'm saying? I'm always. Good Lord. Anyway, that's another topic of conversation.
Hey, there's a lot of females in my family. I've listened to a lot of that baby making music. I mean, I like to make it.
Keep making.
I can't really apologize for that. I'm gonna keep going.
Right on. Keep doing it.
So there it is.
Well, let me ask you this. I don't want to keep you all night, but let me ask you. Everybody comes to a moment where they have that moment where they say, okay, this is what I want to do, or I can really do this. What song did you do that you just stepped back and you said, shit, I'm good at this?
Well, it was back in 2008. I made this song called Dance For Me. And like up until that point, I really wasn't, my ear for music, what I was hearing coming out of the studio was not what I wanted to hear. Like for a while, I thought I couldn't even sing that good. Right on. That's how crappy my music was getting produced. I ain't gonna mention no names, cause you know, a lot of these artists here, they wear their emotions on their sleeve. I mean, I'm an R&B dude, so you know, my involvement with women, you know, is constant. But a lot of the dudes I've been creating stuff with, their emotions are worse than females. I mean, they create music. It's like they babies, you know?
Right.
So they real sensitive. But, man, anyway, I lost track of where I was at.
Are you name dropping? East Coast, West Coast, beef, Tupac and Biggie?
No,
I'm playing. No, I'm really not. You want name drop? No, we ain't gonna name drop.
But yeah, Dance For Me, I had this female artist named Annie. Shout out to Annie. She's been supporting me since the beginning. Once I recorded that song, I was like, that's the track right there. I'm hot. You know, that's when I'm feeling myself. My boy Scott Dog produced that, and I actually didn't even trust him to engineer that song.
Right.
I went to a couple other cats, and they was like, well, I can't do it. And then I came back to my boy. He stuck his ankles in it, man. It was hot. Dance For Me. I'm a put that. That's a bonus track on my CD. So once you hear that, that's when I realized I could do this. And I mean, I've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, man. I almost felt like I was dang near a manager myself.
Right.
I mean, like I said, there's so many rappers here, and they click up. You know, you got like dudes talking about it's 10, 15 dudes on a label and stuff, and it's like, okay, here I'm coming in. I'm a little more educated. I'm a little more well-funded. So, man, I'm pulling out money. I'm pulling out credit cards, trying to get labels started and financed. Man, I'm getting T-shirts, promotion, and stuff like this for cats who really was just doing it for fun.
Right, right.
And I mean, I'm talking about thousands of dollars later, years later. You know, I got my own projects that I did in the meantime, but it was like, wow, you know, I'm helping other people, and I don't really understand like why I care more about their projects than they care about
real talk
their own projects. So I don't know, man. I'm getting a little older. I'm getting a little wiser, and it's like, to me, I got to take advantage of this gift I have, this opportunity, you know, before I pretty much hang it up.
Right.
I mean, I'm gonna keep going for this for maybe another year max. I ain't even gonna lie. After that, you just see me doing my Clark Kent 24/7.
I feel you. Don't turn the cape in, baby. I know it's a gone ahead. Don't turn the cape in. You look back and you be like, man, I should have stepped out the telephone booth one more time. Before we get out of here, let me ask you this: in a perfect world for you, where does Brian Alexander want to be in 5 years?
5 years? The truth, I want to be at a record company, sitting behind a desk somewhere. I want to be writing songs. I want to be penning songs for other artists, or I want to be doing some A&R work, anything like that. I just kind of feel like I'm more suited behind the scenes, because being an artist is a crazy life. it's crazy. Being an R&B singer, people have all these perceptions of you with groupies and staying out all night.